All right, great lesson here coming up with some good phrases talking about when you take on too much responsibility, you become too busy, it's your own fault because you have good intentions. You want to do a lot of stuff, but you take on too many responsibilities for whatever reason. So we'll get to some examples. So you're being too busy, it's your own fault. So and it's not always your own fault, but anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about. So got a lot on your plate. So imagine I have a dinner plate and I'm kind of being a pig today and I'm really hungry and I go up to a buffet and I start putting a lot of food on my plate and then I start eating it and maybe halfway through the food I think, wow, there's a lot of food. I don't really feel like eating it all. I just picked a lot of food. I don't want to eat it all. I put a lot of food on my plate, so it's difficult to eat, and it's difficult to add more food when there's a lot of food on your plate. There's not enough room left. So the way to use this, it's also good for making an excuse. So imagine somebody says, "Hey man, do you have time to help me out with this, or do you want to, can you your boss says, can you do something this Thursday for me or anything? Anytime somebody says, you could say, I've got too much on my plate right now. Sorry, I can't help. So you're using that as an excuse saying, I'm too busy. I have no extra time, right? I have no extra time to take on stuff. Or like, I don't know why I've put so much on my plate. So I don't know why I've taken on so many jobs that I have to do. I agree to everything. Now I got so much on my plate, don't want to do it. So you have a lot of stuff to do, no room for other stuff, or you're making an excuse. Next one goes hand in hand, goes along with it. Spreading yourself too thin basically means I always like to give graphic examples of what these things are. So imagine you got a piece of toast. So you put bread in the toaster, comes up, and I'm going to put butter on the toast. And if I spread it too thin, there's not enough butter left or jam to cover the entire toast. So I don't have enough. It's too, it's I didn't get enough. It's too thin. So that basically means if you're spreading yourself too thin, you are overworked. You don't have enough time to do all the stuff. You've taken on again too many jobs. You don't have enough time to sleep. You don't have enough time to play with your kids or your wife or your friends or whatever. You've got too many responsibilities, not enough time to do it. So you should take the responsibilities down. You have to, say no to some things, cancel some things because you've spread yourself too thin. And sometimes people do it thinking, I'm going to do my job, then I'm going to go to the gym, then I'm going to take dancing class, cooking class. You got all this stuff to do, maybe a second job, got to have 3 kids, whatever. That's spreading yourself too thin. There's no way you're going to do it. Sounds good. And maybe you want to learn 3 languages at the same time. You don't have time for all that. Spreading yourself too thin. Along those lines again, goes with the first one, eating, biting off more than you can chew. So biting, I got an apple here, imagine. Take a bite out of something. That's what a bite is. So imagine I take a huge bite, right? Now chewing is the action of like, before you swallow your food, you have to chew it. So you bite it, then you're chewing it. That's what chewing is. And, so imagine I take a big bite of something. I got a big piece of pizza. I'm all excited. I'm super hungry, or hamburger. I take a huge bite. Steak, whatever. And it's so big now, and my mouth is full of it. I can't really chew. So I've taken on too much responsibility again. I said yes to too many things. Can't do it. So I overpacked my schedule, saying I'm going to do I'm going to get up at 6, and then I'm going to go to the gym, then I'm going to go to work for 8 hours, and I'm going to, go to this meeting, then I'm going to meet this friend, then I'm going to go out for dinner, and all that stuff. If you can't do it because you overpromise and it doesn't really make sense, you don't have the time or the energy, spreading yourself too thin, biting off more than you can chew, putting a lot on your plate, you're too busy. So There you go. I think you learned that. A lot of good phrases there.